I still can't believe they made it, but I'm glad they did. It's the sequel to Tales of Symphonia, one of the best RPGs that was on the Gamecube. Yeah, it was on the PS2, but it was more popular on the Gamecube. Basically, if you haven't played that one, I'll try to fill you in without spoiling it as much as possible. All you really need to know is that you are on a quest to save the world and a couple of other things that happen along the way, and at the end, you're able to bring everything to a peaceful end.
Or so it seemed. The Tetha'an civilization looked down upon the people of Silverrot as barbarians. A resistance organization was formed by the oppressed people of Silverrot to defend themselves. Amidst all of this chaos, the world itself began to cry out. Scorching hot deserts were blanketed with snow. Bountiful lakes dried up and withered. Forests burned to ash as glaciers melted into the sea.
So who's going to help put the world back into order? Meet Emil. The main protagonist, as players will soon label him as an over-apologetic whiner.
I'm sorry.
What do you think you're doing walking in front of me?
Sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
I'm not angry with you.
Well, if your parents were killed by everyone's favorite hero from the last game and the whole town hates your guts, I guess I'll give you the right to be depressed.
What do you want? Get the hell out of here, you little nuisance.
I'm sorry.
Always getting in the way. Just go home and stay out of trouble. Just the sight of you puts the whole town in distress.
He's not much of a fighter at first, but with the help of some people he meets along the way, he'll soon gain some different abilities and strengths that will increase in battle.
Emil, I command you, unleash the power within yourself.
And along with a costume change in the power-ups and abilities, he'll also gain a split personality whenever he enters the battlefield.
Didn't you hear what I said? I said stop, you miserable swine!
You'll then learn why everything's going out of whack.
For instance, Ratatosk's sleep is the reason why Lake Sinnoh has dried up. And without him around to oversee things, most monsters have cut ties with the Centurions they serve. So the monsters are running wild and causing the world's mana to fall out of balance.
Even while Lord Ratatosk is dormant, the Centurions are supposed to form ties with monsters and maintain order. Yet the Centurion of Water, Aqua, has allied with Richter and is neglecting her duties. Which is precisely the reason why we have seen one water-related disaster after another. It's absolutely deplorable.
You'll then make some new friends who will want to team up with you.
Since we met again. That's why I want to go with you. We can start off as friends, right? Of course, I don't mind being more than friends.
You'll also encounter heroes from the last game who will show up and join your team. And then we'll join in the conversations in your private life as well.
That I couldn't be of more help. Can I ask you something?
Of course. What is it?
Just be honest. How do you feel about Emil?
Well, let's see. He's very kind, very warm-hearted.
Do you like him?
Sure.
Well, I'm not giving up. I won't lose. Not to you, not to anybody.
Right. Good luck, I guess.
Okay, Emil. Just be straight with me. How do you feel about Marta?
How do I feel? Well, I guess...
Don't say it.
Huh?
Are intra-party relationships off limits?
It's not that. Such questions must never be answered plainly. Any response should be vague so as to create intrigue and suspense. Is this not the essence of any good soap opera?
You know, spiteful may be the perfect word for Tenebrae.
It's a little odd though, because when the other players join your team, they never level up until they leave the team and then come back. They're only there for increased abilities and for the 4-player support, which is great. Fans of the first one will notice that you can't travel around the world, you just now point and click. It saves a lot of time for me. Dungeons also return, and much like the first one, you'll have to wander around, find the traps, hit the switches, avoid monsters if you don't want to battle, and just kind of go around and see what you need to do to accomplish one area from the next. You can uncover little secrets here and there, and extra items, and that's about it. The Sorcerer's Ring also returns, And instead of like the last one, you can just, with the Wii Remote, you can point and click to where you want to shoot, or you can use the cursor to also move the Mule around. However, using the Wii Remote in this game feels more like it's tacked on, but don't worry, it's not overly used. In fact, it's pointless. Within the overworld, the way you encounter enemies this time around is different from the last one. If you can encounter them from behind, you'll get an extra advantage. However, if they encounter you from behind, they get an advantage, meaning that whoever encounters who becomes dizzy and is more acceptable to different hits. Combat is still very much like the first game, and for those who aren't familiar with that one, I'll try to explain how combat works. Think Super Smash Bros. Seriously, your special moves all include up B, down B, right, left B, and B. Yep, just what I said. You can equip your different specials to different areas in the buttons, so if you don't like what you see, you can just exchange for something else, but you have to learn them as you level up. And for a bit of improvement, you can now see your enemy's health meter, as well as being able to move around the battlefield freely using the Z button. You can tell your teammates where to go and what to do, but the AI doesn't feel as intelligent as it was in the last game. And there's also a shortcut mode, so if you want to have the healing or recovering abilities at your disposal, go ahead and use them. At any time during the battle you can equip that, or you can even use items to help recover your teammates. Be warned though, as there are some enemies that you encounter that have over-the-top devastating attacks that are so powerful they have to be portrayed in cutscenes. They're so powerful they can leave you and your entire team to just one hit point. And no, you can't skip them. You can unleash your own special moves too with the C button if the red meter at the bottom is filled up. And if you equip a special skill, you'll be able to perform your own cutscene of special attacks and devastating abilities. No, you can't skip it either, but after all the pain and punishment they put you through, you'll enjoy seeing every hit you inflict on them. I do find that there are times where where there are just too many enemies on screen, they can easily corner you and then drain your HP very quickly. However, unlike the first game, you can actually have monsters join your team. You have to show them how good you are, and then if you're good enough, they'll join your team. And if you raise them right, that little guy will go from that to this. There are times where you'll be entering battles where you can't win no matter what, and they'll quickly take you out. You can't pause any of the cutscenes, but you can skip them just by pressing the A and B button. Fans will notice other characters from the first game, and for people who beat the first game, if you put in a Gamecube memory card with the save data, you'll get some extra goodies at the beginning. And if you beat the game, the Grade Shop also returns, allowing you to purchase special abilities such as earning 10 times the experience points for another game. And you'll probably want to play through the game again, because you may have missed some things that you didn't notice the first time around that will help clear up some plot holes. Fans of the first game are going to enjoy this. However, if you haven't already played the first one, I highly recommend you play it, otherwise you won't be able to understand what's going on most of the time in this. The graphics aren't exactly distinctively follow up to today's current standards. They're very much like the last one, but they do have a certain hand-painted quality to it, and this is the best live-action RPG you're going to find on the Wii, currently. That's why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It's an enjoyable experience for those who can play it.
I'm surprised you kept up with me.
Hey, I'm the chief of Igaguri style.
I'm the president of the Lezareno Company.
And I'm Emil's fiancé.
Who decided that?